Play ball! Blue 22.
You are watching Sports and Sorts live on YouTube. That's 75% sports, 25% sorts. And here are your hosts, Shane and the Bry Man.
Yeah, we are back. It is I don't even know what it is. It's a Thursday, which is very rare. We don't usually come out here on Thursdays, but we are here today. And we, as in me, I'm Shane, and you can find me on Twitter at Einhornusfinkel.
And I'm the Bry Man. You can find me on Twitter at _Bry_man. It's been a hot minute. So,
Yes.
I like your new angle actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
yeah,
It's
you
very-
didn't see my new angle because you get to see me on the camera over here.
Yes.
You don't get to see me on YouTube.
But I like it. It's clean.
So I thought you were gonna like that.
Yeah, it's
But
nice.
you didn't get to actually see it because that camera is set up differently for YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's what we got going on over here. So
You got good light. You got good lighting too.
You got good lighting.
The lighting
Always.
is
Your
good.
lighting always follows you everywhere.
It does it.
Yeah, it's like
My lighting is
although
very.
you are a little jaundiced sometimes.
I am very no. It's because of the light right.
You
in
got
front
the
of me.
yellow
It does.
light, right? Yeah.
It makes me jaundiced. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I think it's an LED in there, but I think no, it's not. It's a fluorescent. I need to replace that with an LED, like
You
a
know what you
daylight
just
LED.
need to do? You need to get like a $7,
Yeah.
ring light that you can.
Oh,
put
the ring
behind
light.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen people with those, and sometimes it looks like they don't work very well.
That's what I'm using right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very good. It's very nice. Yeah,
Mine isn't like a
has been,
$7 one. Mine's not.
your
It's a little bit more expensive, but
your flesh tone is very fleshy, and yes, I look like I need to be put in like a hospital bed in the
yeah.
to get some light. I mean,
Yes.
they need to like
Or
yeah.
or
I need
as your hashtag is on Twitter, I see a lot. I'm your Huckleberry. You might be going
I'm your
through a little
Huckleberry.
bit of cirrhosis.
maybe.
You're getting a little, getting a little Huckleberry there on your your jaundice looking, but that's just all. The background and everything looks great, but that yellow tone, I can do that too. I can switch this light to yellow, and it will give me a little more yellow tone.
Maybe we could both go to the hospital together.
Yeah. Sweet. Hold hands. No, we can't. Why? Because nobody's getting vaccinated. Not really, but some people are. And I wish most people are.
It's getting
The
a little better.
majority.
I saw 55% of the country is now fully vaxxed.
So
with
majority
about
is
60 something have at least one shot.
Yeah.
So it's getting better. It's still not good.
I did like the news that has been coming out about Moderna and stuff like that. Like they have, a flu/COVID vaccine that's almost available. They have,
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, their Moderna vaccine is protection up for a year before it starts to wane. I've gotten a lot of information. The J&J, their booster shot is seeming to be
tenfold,
which you and I
9
both
or
have.
tenfold.
Yeah, it's like 9 times the antibodies, which is great. And I'm waiting to get that, and then
Me too.
and even like a bit of the crossover. There's still some data out there that says like doing like the J&J and then getting like a Pfizer or a Moderna is better protection, but like I'm just waiting for the them to give me the go ahead.
I want to
basically
know. Like, can I if I have J&J, can I only get J&J or can I get a Pfizer booster instead?
No, you can get the other. People have done that, and it's just not 100% recommended because one,
is it like mixing drinks?
Moderna is there. The Moderna booster shot is actually only a half a dose.
Okay.
So like if you go and just say forget it, which people are doing, and it seems like people are doing okay. You go and get the Moderna full, like another full dose of Moderna, you seem to be okay.
Yeah.
But it's more than they're recommending is basically what they're saying. They're saying you only need a half, but people are still going out and lying and saying, I want my third dose. I want to make sure I'm fully protected. And Moderna is saying that they don't even notice any waning until after a year. So,
Yeah.
Whereas Pfizer, it seems about after 6 months or so, there's some waning that's going on.
My wife already got her
J&J is
booster.
seeming, I think it's pretty similar to Pfizer. Like it starts to wane after about 6 months, and they're looking at 8 months booster. So I'm hoping that we get the J&J boosters coming relatively
right, because
soon.
in a month you and I would start waning, because didn't we get ours at about the same time?
Yeah.
Like mine was April 8th.
Yeah, and I think I was right around the same time.
I think you were like a day or two before me or something like that.
Yeah.
But we were close.
Yeah. So we're getting close. We're approaching that timeline. And, you know, there are, you know, some doctors that have just basically said, I mean, because I'm immunocompromised, my wife is immunocompromised. Obviously, we have a lot of that in the house. But like, it's one of those things that she has her doctor saying, well, you're immunocompromised, go ahead and just get a shot. Like, if you can go and get a third dose, go ahead and do it, because she's a doctor. So therefore she got her shot well before all of us. So, but she got Moderna. So technically the waning isn't even going to happen for, you know, a little bit longer. So she's got time. So, all right.
I will take that jab as soon as I can get it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next vaccine. I'm actually going to be getting my flu shot relatively soon.
I assume I'll just get mine when I get my annual physical. So that'll be January.
That might be a little late.
I don't know. We'll have to say, I don't know.
I'll be going when I go and pick up my next prescription at Stop and Shop. Hey, give me that flu shot, which is either going to be today or tomorrow. The kids are getting theirs in, I think, either today or tomorrow. So,
there you go.
Yeah, we're all getting our flu shots. Do not want any reason to feel like I need to go to the hospital.
I know.
So
I'm with you.
Here we go, flus. I want to take that ASAP. But all right.
Let's dive into stuff.
Yeah, let's dive into stuff other than this.
Like the NFL has happened since we last had a show, and Major League Baseball's winding down.
They'd be cocksucker supremes.
Yeah,
still true.
Still true. I mean, how did your team do against the Patriots?
They did okay.
Yeah,
they went in and got an ugly win against you know.
Well, we're gonna get into a little bit more of the Dolphins and everything. I don't want to go like full on 10-minute explanation of how your team barely eked out a win against the Patriots. They got their dub, right?
That's all that matters.
It is. I mean, it is.
They went in and got it. I mean, road wins in the NFL are not easy to come by. It wasn't pretty. I didn't expect it to be. The Patriots are probably a top 5 to 10 defense.
You thought that they were going to lose, though, right?
I always think they're going to lose. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What do we?
I just want to make sure that that's where you were at. You know, mentally, you were like, I feel like the Dolphins were going to lose.
I mean, I put on a brave face on Twitter because I think about a week or so before the game, I was like, yeah, no, they're going to go. They'll win that game. I mean, I was not confident.
Right.
And as the game was progressing and they got down, I was like, no, they're going to lose. You know.
But they looked okay.
I'll take a road win in the NFL any day of the week.
And on our any list today, you know, I mean, selfishly, I put in there selfishly, we are going to be talking as the game of the week. We are going to be talking about, of course, the Bills and the Dolphins, because they are playing each other this week, and the Bills are my team and the Dolphins are your team. Yeah. So therefore, we will be talking about them.
I think we're going to both be picking the same team to win.
Maybe, I guess. I mean, you're awfully unconfident. You're not very confident about your team, I'm guessing.
Well, based on last year's run-ins with the Bills, I think Dolphin fans have the right to have a little trepidation over this matchup.
I'm looking forward to talking about that a little bit later. Where is this thing? I got to find it. Because now that we're back, right? I mean, we are back to NFL season. I got to get this loaded back in the old, because I'm actually going to be switching up my area in here, so this way I can use the iPad for the soundboard, and I can do everything else on the computer, because I have a computer here, a computer there, and like my iPad over here, which is playing stuff over there. So I have a lot of pewters. But I do not have this thing, and this is something that I know you have missed, and that's
right, which is still not even audibly. There's not one word in there you can pick up.
It's the best.
Not a one.
So it's
not
the best.
A one.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the best. It's the best. All right, so we are gonna be talking about that a little bit later. But first, we got to get into a little bit of this because this is really important. We haven't talked about this in a long time. The last time we talked about this, we were talking about should the that's Glastonbury. I don't have anybody in Glastonbury that I'm talking to. The last time we talked,
your extended warranty is about to expire.
Exactly. Yeah. Or there's something with taxes, or
your car's extended warranty is about to expire.
That's like oh my God, it's the most annoying. Are you getting text messages now from Verizon? VZN?
Yeah, I do, which is weird because I don't have Verizon.
$200. You're getting $200 from VZN. Get the hell out of here with your nasty texts. All right. So anyway, we have to talk about
the state of the Yankees.
Because we have not talked state of the Yankees in a long time. And the last time we were talking about them is blow up the Yankees. And now I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like the Yankees are definitely in the hunt. They were putting on a serious charge where they got like 3 or 4 games behind first with the Rays.
Yes,
and they won like something like 21 out of 23 games. They went on a tear.
13 in a row, 33 of 44.
Something, it was ridiculous, the tear they went on. And then, of course, over the last 10 days or so, kind of pulled that back and really went on crashed a bit. But they've won, 2 in a row now?
Three, I think.
They got a lucky win yesterday.
Yeah, because they beat the Twins, and they've won the first 2 against the Orioles.
And they got a lucky win yesterday. Yeah, a little bloop single in the rain with Gardy, which is not ideal. But the win's a win, and they locked it down. You know, we had our closer come out there and get us and close it out. But it's a very weird team because nobody on there is really a superstar besides Judge, who's not even superstar level. He's playing well. I wouldn't say he's lighting up the world like Ohtani did for, 3/4 of the season. And there's some other guys out there that have been playing out of their minds. And Judge has been playing well, but it's not like you're getting highlights of him every night. So as of right now, I think you would have to probably agree that Garrett Cole is the MVP of the team.
Yeah. And he's probably going to finish second in the side.
It's either that or Nestor Cortez, baby, because that guy
I love Uncle
cracks
Nestor.
me up every time he's on the mound.
And he deserved to get a win last night, and of course he didn't because Chad Green and Glaber.
Yeah. Glaber, again, is not a shortstop.
He's apparently not even a second baseman. The Yankees are running out of places to hide him on the field.
He needs to I really think your only option is third base. Because that is complete and utter not thinking about it. You hit the ball and you go.
Yeah, I guess.
He's got an arm that's strong enough for third. And he is just, unfortunately, you're either going to have to move him in a trade or you're going to have to move him to third because he's had years now to get better at short and second and just fielding in general. And it hasn't happened.
The fielding would be tolerable if the bat was awake, but the bat has not been awake all year. And now you have to question everything about him because he went from a guy who had hit almost 40 home runs in one year to whatever this iteration is of him now.
Well, I will say the Yankees, nobody's bat. I mean, DJ LeMahieu's bat went quiet.
Oh no,
Gio's bat went quiet. You know, the two guys have been hitting for the Yankees this year, and one of them more lately than this whole year is Judge and Stanton. Stanton has been hitting as of late. He's had a hot month where he's been getting.
No. What's going on with Stanton is very simple. He's playing the field, and because he's playing the field, he's hitting well because his head is in the game.
Okay.
He's not just coming off the bench to DH. I'm sorry. No one can tell me that that's a coincidence at all. It's absolutely not. He has been steadily better. Like, there was the point earlier in the year when some of his at-bats, in fact, a lot of his at-bats when he was DHing were just downright embarrassing. Yeah. Like, he would go up and it was like 1, 2, 3 pitches. If you blinked, you missed his at-bat. And you know how he is, right? He can swing at just some horrible pitches. Those at-bats now are few and far between. He's going to the opposite field a lot more. He's hitting a lot more balls on the ground, which for him is not a bad thing because he hits the ball so fucking hard that if he gets one on the ground, there's a good chance it gets between fielders because that's just how hard he hits the ball. And let's be honest, when he runs into one, forget it. It's gone. He has been a completely different player since playing in the field. Now, the risk, of course, in that is that if he gets injured, well, that's that. But you know what? If you're the Yankees, it's a risk you have to take because the best iteration of the Yankee lineup, regardless of whether you like Luke Voit or not, but the best iteration of their lineup has Stanton and Voit in it at the same time. And the only way to have those two in it at the same time is if Stanton plays the field. So I'm okay with it. Because you know what? If somehow this team ekes its way into October, let's say they get through a wild card game, which historically speaking, they've done pretty well in wild card games. I think they're 2 of 3. I don't know. Something like that. I think they've only lost one, which I think was to the Astros, which was a Dallas Keuchel debacle. But I think the other 2 they've won, one of which you and I were at, which was that Twins game a few years ago, which was an awesome game. Yes, it was. I mean, basically, with their lineup, if they could just get themselves to an actual series and past a wild card game, that lineup, if Stanton's playing the field, can be scary. There's still a lot of flaws in it, still a heavy strikeout lineup. I still question a lot of the clutchness of certain players, especially in bigger moments. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is tense right now. They're chasing a wild card spot. The division is gone. It's completely out of reach. So you're chasing a wild card spot. So there's a lot, every game is intense, but the problem is one good team in the American League is being left out. Like one really good team.
Oh yeah.
Which is either Toronto, the Yankees, or Boston. One of those teams is not going to dance in October at all. And I don't know. I looked at all 3 schedules last night. Honestly, I like they're all tied. They're all tied right now. I think actually if the season ended today, it would technically be Toronto and New York because I think the Yankees and Toronto are identical and the Yankees and Toronto have like a 0.01 percentage better than Boston or something like that. Yeah. So it would actually be Toronto and New York if that wild card game took place today. But what I don't love is I don't love the Yankees schedule as it's not bad, but compared to the other 2, I think it's a little more difficult.
I don't know. I was looking at the schedule and they have an ideal next week where
right.
Because the Indians
is where they need to do
Indians, even though they're in second place, Rangers, they're sub 500.
Yes, and the Rangers.
And the Rangers are horrible.
There's a bad team.
But then we have it all in our own hands.
Right.
Which is, Blue Toronto, Jays, Sox, and Rays, right? Yeah. Or is it Boston, Jays, and Rays, something like that?
But it's those 3 teams.
Yeah. And then it's all in our own hands. It's like,
it is.
All right, time to just put up or shut up.
The good news for them is Tampa might not play anyone. They might just be resting people because they should have the division wrapped up shortly.
Yeah.
The question with Tampa is, I don't know, but then again, though, they may try to be locking down that 1 overall to make sure that they have home field in the Trop.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you don't want to go to Houston if you don't have to.
No.
So
the team that seems to always have our number for some reason.
Houston, yeah. Kevin, my brother and I were talking about the how they would have been great if this could have ended up being what we called the quote unquote revenge season, where this is how we had it playing out.
Right.
They would beat, now as it turns out in this case it would be Boston. They would beat Boston in the wild card game. Then they would beat either Houston or Tampa in the division series, and then either Houston or Tampa in the American League Championship Series, and then go on to beat whomever in the World Series, preferably the Dodgers, I guess, just because it would be a cool World Series.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about exercising a lot of your demons in one postseason, boom, that's the way to do it. Boston, Houston, Tampa. Exercise every demon you've had over the last decade in one postseason en route to winning a championship. Is this going to happen? No. I would not bet anything on that. You could give me your money and I wouldn't bet it on that just because I'd feel guilty about taking money from you. But I think, listen, there's a chance that this team could make noise in the playoff if they make it. I actually think the bigger issue for them is going to be making it because it's just tough. I mean, you're going up. You've got two good teams.
Yeah,
you've got two good teams that you're dealing with here, and it's just not going to be. I know the Red Sox came kind of back down to earth, but you know what? That's still a good team. That team can still hit. Their lineup is still deep, and Chris Sale is back, although he's on COVID, but he is back, and he has pitched well. But they're building him back up. I think he's kind of maxed out at about 5 innings right now. So, and Toronto, as far as I'm concerned, Toronto is kind of like a lock for one of them, in my opinion, which I know is crazy because all three teams have the exact same record basically. But if I had to pick
the Sox
a lock,
have one more
Toronto's
loss in the
Toronto's just so hot right now. I mean, they're just playing so well. They just take 2 of 3 from Tampa.
You eventually can cool off. That's what
I know.
So
I know. But
like
it
the
seems
Yankees
to me
were
like
super hot for a month.
Right. And the Yankees, ironically, you know what was weird about it? They peaked at the wrong time, but they also had no choice but to peak at that time if they wanted any chance of catching Tampa.
Yeah.
So they peaked, they crashed, couldn't catch Tampa, and now that's out of reach.
Right. So and we have the Jays have won 8 of their last 10.
Yeah.
The Yankees have won 4 of their last 10.
Yeah.
And the Rays have won 4 of their last 10. The Sox have won 4 of their last 10.
The killer for the Yankees was getting swept by Toronto. You really needed just the one. You needed one there.
Yeah.
Because you had to have that one because it was a 2-game swing. So, I have to actually pause and tell you something real quick. We will have to wrap this up by 10:30 our time. There's like an emergency call that was just called for our team.
We got it.
Yeah.
All right. So we will we'll move on to the next little segment here, and we have because that's all we really need to talk about with the Yankees. The Yankees are pretty much it's in their hands to get to the playoffs. So that's where we're at right now. We got to they just need to play well. They have it in their hands. They have actually, I think they're going a good spot because they should really, out of their next 10 games, they should win 7.
I would agree
because they're playing the Orioles, the Indians, and the Rangers. So in a 10-game span, which is about what that is, they should win 7 games. And then if they can split with the remaining teams and then maybe win the series against the Rays, that should give them their chance.
I guess the question is how many wins gets you to it? Is it 92? Probably 92.
Yeah.
Maybe 93.
We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if they can get another hot streak. That'd be nice. It'd be nice if LeMahieu and Sanchez, not Sanchez, and Torres can get hot. If those two can get hot,
Glaber and DJ got to wake up.
Yeah. If they can get hot, that would be great. And then you just need to maintain with Stanton and Judge.
Yeah.
All right. I do agree with you too about Stanton. I think that him playing the field definitely keeps him a little bit more awake.
Yeah, it's a totally different look.
That is a good thing. That is a good.
It looks like a different guy completely to me.
Which is good. I mean, it's great because that's one of those guys that Luke Voit is a disaster. I think at the plate. So if they could just get him out of there, put Kyle Higashioka, I can never say his last name. They could put him behind the dish and just throw Sanchez in as a DH. That would be ideal. I think that they would be a much better team. Because between Sanchez's defense and Glaber's defense, that is a disaster because you need to be solid up the middle. And those are 2 guys who are horrible on defense. All right, let's move on. Let's get on to our next topic, which is the NBA, baby. No, we're not going to talk the NBA. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We're going to talk the NFL. And I don't even know if we don't have anything for the NFL, do we? Oh, we do. We have something. Yeah, we have this.
Probably. Is it the like the pile tackle?
No. We got a whole logo sitch. Oh yeah. The NFL. All right, so let's get into the NFL. We're going to talk. We have a few games to talk about. We have where's my analyst here? We're going to be talking. First game is New York Giants versus Washington. We're not going to get into this like super in depth. You know,
you hold on? Can you hold on?
Yeah.
Can you talk?
Yeah. Okay. So we're not going to get into this super in depth, but we are going to. Do you need me to put you on mute? I'll just put him on mute. All right. So we're not going to get super in depth into the Thursday night game, which is tonight. We have the Giants versus Washington. And for me, this is a game where Daniel Jones, I still do not believe in Daniel Jones whatsoever. I think that he is a subpar quarterback. I think this is going to be the year that they're going to figure that out, and they're just going to kind of move on, and they're going to go and try and get a quarterback that is their quarterback for the future. Because as of right now, Saquon Barkley is a little injured. I think this is great time for him to kind of a season for him to really heal, kind of keep him off the field as much as possible so that he is there for you in the future. Now, in the NFL, that's never a guarantee. It's never a guarantee that you're going to be there because of injury. And we've seen that once with him already in the NFL, and you can be gone for a whole season in, one play. So I'm really thinking that because Washington defense is so good, they are going to they're going to give Daniel Jones fits. And I don't really believe in Washington's offense that much, but I think that they're going to be good enough to kind of maybe put 7 to 10 points on the board. And I think that their defense will also lend them to get about 7 to 10 points on the board. So because of that, I think that the Giants are just going to they're going to have a hard time scoring. And I have the Washington Redskins at 17 to 10. I don't know if Bryman's back yet. Is he back?
I am.
Yeah, he's
back. I'm back.
Okay. So I don't know if he, you are back. All right, good.
Yeah,
I don't know if he is, I don't know if the Giants and the Skins are it's not going to be a very entertaining game tonight. I think it's going to, if you like defense, I think you're going to enjoy this because I think you're going to see the Skins just kind of beat the living daylights out of the Giants.
Yeah, I got the Redskins winning that game. It's not a good matchup for the Giants. Coming off of what the Giants looked like last week, going against what I think is a top 5 defense in the Redskins.
Yeah.
It's not a good matchup. No. It's not,
especially with Saquon being on, they're just gonna. I don't know if you heard 100%. Me talk about it, but I just feel like this is going to be a year where it's going to be a transition. Daniel Jones is going to be knocked out. He's going to be a backup somewhere. They're going to get their quarterback for the future, kind of rest Saquon as much as possible this year to keep him healthy. So this way they really can kind of have a good 3 to 5 year period where they at least have their offense. So I don't know. I have 17 to 10. What did you have?
Just to be a little different, I'll go with 19 to 11.
That's a horrible
But I'm
score.
in like the same ballpark as you.
I like it.
19-11,
19,
Washington.
All right, so Wash 19 to.
By the way, getting to either of those point totals is not easy. So I'm making it difficult on myself.
Yeah,
but hey, whatever.
It's got to be close, right? That's all.
Yeah, somebody's got to miss an extra point. It happens.
All right, so let's. We're gonna get into the Sunday night football game. That is Kansas City versus Baltimore. Now that is going to be a fun game. I think this game right here is going to live up to the hype. I'm looking forward to watching this game because I think it's going to be offense galore. I think you're going to have so much. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes, who is, I think, and this is obviously very early in his career, I think you might be watching the guy who takes over the GOAT title from Tom Brady. Because if he keeps this up, he's improving every single year. And this is a guy who has had some of the greatest seasons of all time, and he is getting better. He is working on his athleticism, which he was already, heads and shoulders above and more athletic than almost every quarterback in the league, other than like maybe Russell and Aaron. Like, as far as an athletic quarterback with the build and size of a quarterback, like, he is just so incredibly talented, and he's got the best arm strength out of every quarterback. And he's accurate, and he is just so talented. I expect him to absolutely decimate the secondary of the Baltimore Ravens. I expect Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, I expect him to have a good game, and I expect them to run the ball through the Kansas City Chiefs. But I do think that this is not going to be the Ravens' time to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to come away with this, but I think it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be 37-30 Kansas City.
Okay. I have it 34-31 Kansas City. And I don't know what the points total is. I would take the over most likely, because I just think both teams are going to be in the 30s or close to it. And
when we get back to doing Monday shows, we'll start doing the points.
Baltimore's going to be one of those teams where you're going to look at and they're going to be like, this is like one of the best 0-2 teams there is.
Yes.
But
unless the Bills go on 0-2.
Unless it's just, because I look at I don't put any stock in week one. I never put stock in week one. I've learned too many lessons over the years as a fan not to put stock in week one. And so I can't sit here and say the Ravens going into Vegas and losing was a total disaster. I mean, it was unexpected, and the Ravens should have won that game, but whatever, it didn't happen. Yeah. I need to go on mute again. Sorry. Things are blowing up today at work, like big.
It's okay. Well, just let me know when you're back, and we'll move on to the next game. All right. So, okay. Let's get back to me now. All right. So then we have Detroit versus Green Bay. I feel like this is another game where Detroit, they're not a great team. I think that they have enough on offense that's going to get them in the end zone. I just don't think they're a very good team. It sucks that this game is Monday Night Football, except for the fact that we get to see Aaron Rodgers play. Now, I want to see this because there has been a lot of issues with him on the offseason, trying out for Jeopardy and unfortunately not getting it. I think that was a misstep for Jeopardy. Obviously, they've had a few missteps. But I think that with Aaron Rodgers, he is such an incredible talent. And they have not done a great job finding what he needs to really succeed. But I'm hopeful that they're going to win against the, I would say, bottom tier Detroit Lions. But I do think it's going to be relatively close because Aaron Rodgers early in the year is not like he doesn't have to be super great for them to win early in the year, especially against the Detroit Lions. I think that the Lions are going to be kind of hot and cold on offense. I think Goff is an okay quarterback. And I think that Swift is a good running back. So I think that they will get in the end zone. I have this game 24-17, the Green Bay Packers, especially with them, being at home. I think that that's going to be a huge deal. But I don't see the Green Bay Packers lighten up the scoreboard this week, just because I think that's going to take some time for Aaron to get in sync with all his receivers. So yeah, I have 24-17. The Brian Man's still not back yet. So we're just going to have to, I don't know. We'll have to move on and go to the next game, because to be honest, he can just give his score later about the Green Bay Packers. So I had 24-17 Green Bay, and we'll see what he has when he comes back. We're going to have to get on to, unfortunately, Brian Man's not going to be able to see this. And that is, he's going to be very sad about this. And that is the Bills versus the Dolphins. But they are in Miami, which is this is going to be a very interesting game. The problem is for the Bills is that their offense is what Miami's defense excels at. Their secondary is incredible. And I think that is going to be, it's going to give the Bills a lot of issues. And I feel like that the Dolphins defense and their secondary is so good. I think it's going to really, Diggs is going to get annoyed. He's going to have a hard time finding separation against Howard. And I feel like their running game is just, the Bills running game is just so sus that they got to do something either with Moss or Singletary or even Allen and really get that ball on the ground so they can open up the wide receivers game a little bit better. Dawson Knox showed up a little bit, and I feel like he's going to have to really provide some comfort, getting those 6 to 10 yard passes right over the middle. He's got good hands, so he should be able to find some separation there. But overall, I think this is going to be a really close game. I feel like the Bills offense, like I said, is really good. The glimmering sign of hope here for me is that I feel like Tua is not a great quarterback. And because he's not a great quarterback, I don't think he has the skill. It's not that he's great. And, there's plenty of quarterbacks that are out there that just don't have great arm strength, but still get the job done. I mean, you had, Joe Montana, who didn't have exceptional arm strength, but still was accurate. I feel like the Bills can exploit Tua and they can get to him. And when they get to him, they're going to make him uncomfortable. He's going to make some mistakes. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're missing out on this whole Tua talk that I'm here.
You did a lot of talking. By the way, what was the other game? Detroit and Green Bay?
Yeah. Well,
Green Bay going to bounce back.
Yeah.
They're going to bounce back from that. They're going to win 24 to 10.
24 to 10.
24 to 10 Green Bay.
That's actually pretty close. What I had.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be shut down like that for 2 weeks.
I had 24-17.
Bad matchup for Detroit that week.
I had 24-17.
Okay, so now we're on.
I had been talking about the Bills game.
Okay.
Bills, and you missed. I'll play it for you. Just cut it. It's because you missed it. You missed it. So.
All right. It is the game.
I
had. Kansas City, Baltimore is the game of the week, but subjectively for
us. No, that's Sunday Night Football, so it's not the game of the week.
Okay, all right. That's right. It's Sunday Night Football, so it can't be game of the week.
Yeah.
Two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time.
Unless it's not the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins, then we can actually obviously do that. But anyway, we have. I said I was very nervous because what the Bills are good at on offense, the Dolphins are just as good, if not better, on defense because their secondary is exceptional. I think that Howard is going to give Diggs fits. And that's where you're going to have people like Knox that are needing to come up. I think they need to figure out a way to get Moss or Singletary up or even Allen kind of to kind of be able to give some space for Diggs and even Davis and Sanders and other people like that on offense. But I do think that because I am not a big believer in Tua, you are. I think that they are going to make Tua, because the Bills' defense is good, I think that their defense is going to give Tua some fits, and that's going to help give them opportunities to score. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Tua throw 2 or 3 interceptions. If not, maybe even lose a fumble. And I think that is what's going to allow the Bills to get a win. I think they're going to eke out a win because I do think the Dolphins are a good team. And I think it's going to be 21-17, the Bills.
That's a good score. We definitely agree on the outcome. And I think, let's see, if I'm going to go final score on this, 24-20 Buffalo.
24-20. That's good.
Yeah. Here's my biggest issue. And it's not that I don't have better faith in the Dolphins this year. I do believe they're a better team than they were last year. I think actually just going into New England and winning week 1 sort of might be proof of that. because that's a game they would have lost last year. It's a game they did lose last year. What I don't love about this matchup is I still don't know what the Dolphins have to combat Josh Allen running the ball, because every time Josh Allen plays the Miami Dolphins, he runs up and down the field on them. It's like a second or third running back.
And I need him to do that this week. They need a running back, whether it's him or not.
Well, you know what, though? They put 70, like Devin Singletary, I think, had 72 yards rushing last week. So it's not like the Bills don't have the threat of a run.
No, they don't. Nobody's worried about it, though.
No, I agree. But I do remember, though, back around draft time, I said to you, I think the Bills need to draft a running back, and they did not do it. Because I didn't have faith in Singletary and Moss. I mean, I like the idea of Zach Moss, but I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Right.
And he didn't beat Singletary out in camp. So to me, it's pretty obvious that that's just this sort of two-headed whatever that they have. It's not a monster. It's just a two-headed something that they're trotting out there. Mm-hmm. And and listen, Josh Allen is going to be able to throw the ball. He'll be able to move the ball. Howard is he's
good.
He's not. No. He's a top 3 corner. There's no doubt about it. It's like him, Jalen Ramsey, and Jair Alexander are all in that conversation. Yes. But I still think Diggs will get his yards. I still think the Bills will be able to move the ball enough on this Dolphins defense, which the Dolphins defense last week did not really get the kind of pressure on Mac Jones that you wanted. And that's a rookie quarterback, and they weren't really able to rattle him that much. If they couldn't really do that, I think they're going to have struggles against Josh Allen, who is very mobile, and is a veteran, and he is at the peak of his powers right now. Yeah. It's just not the Dolphins Bills. It's just not a good matchup for the Dolphins.
It's not a good matchup for the Bills either. Makes it a good game.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a really good game.
Unless the Bills absolutely decimate Tua. If they absolutely get to him and start getting him flustered and they throw a lot of picks, then this game could get out of hand.
I don't think it's going to be 56-26 like it was last year when the Dolphins went up to Buffalo in Week 17 and just got their asses handed to them. I think it's going to be a little closer. That was prime.
Bills were like they usually start a little slower, so
the Bills were completely on fire at that point. If the Dolphins win this game this week, it'll be for a couple of reasons. One, the heat will probably be a factor. Mm-hmm. Two, they will be, because Will Fuller is coming back, they will be able to stretch the field. So they'll be able to bring that safety, and then that'll open the middle of the field for guys like Gesicki and Waddle, which would allow Tua to move the ball, methodically up and down the field. But if those things don't go well.
Yeah, but between White and Edmonds and all these guys, the Bills have such a solid.
No, they're good.
Defense.
Yeah, they're good. Listen, this is still their division. Yeah. Until proven otherwise, this is their division. I didn't see anything take place in this offseason that leads me to believe that the Dolphins or anyone can overtake Buffalo in this division. So until I see that happen, it's too early in the season for me to just suddenly say, the Dolphins, this is the kind of game the Dolphins are going to win. They're built to win this game. No,
the Bills look so rusty against the Steelers too. They look so rusty.
You cannot fairly say that. If you're a Dolphin fan, and listen, yes, and listen, again, week 1, I can't put a lot of stock in week 1. Right. Although I will give credit where it's due to the Steelers there, because they went in, they won a tough game against that team, and that's not easy to do, to go into Buffalo.
And Allen did do a couple of.
And there are some severe questions right now about Ben Roethlisberger's arm. Yeah. So
he threw one that looked like a punt.
He may have Cam Newton noodle arm right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but Allen actually went back and reverted to 2 years ago, where he overthrew a couple of wide open receivers that last year did not happen that often. It still happened, but not that often. And he missed. They could have easily won that game by 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
But they just couldn't connect on those deep balls, which is unacceptable.
So we'll have to hold on the 3 Amigos.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna put a post moment on the 3 Amigos. We'll do it on Monday.
Yeah, we'll do it Monday.
We'll come back on Monday. We're gonna start doing Monday shows again. We have to bail because the Bry Man has.
I got stuff.
He's got stuff to do. Got lots
Big
of stuff to
stuff.
do. So
I'll have to fill you in later.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I get it. This is kind of an impromptu Thursday show. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show and that we'll be back on Monday and start doing the show more regularly and getting here and getting our picks out there every week. And we'll have to keep track of the Yankees. Hopefully they make the playoffs. But other than that, we will see you guys again on Monday. Smash that like button. I think I have this little segment thing here somewhere. Where is it? Where's that thing at? Got to close this thing out because that thing's garbage. Throw this in here right here. Bam! Yeah, smash that like button. Smash that subscriber. Smash that notification bell. Do lots of smashing.
In the privacy of your own home, please.
Yeah. And thank you guys for watching. You can find me on Twitter at EinhornIsFinkel. You can find me on Instagram at Happy McAvoy.
You can find me on Twitter at _Brian_man. We have reached the end of this show, and in the words of the great immortal Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end, but we will be back on Monday.
Yes, with the three Amigos.
And by the way, recast. While we were doing this call, I actually did get a call about my car's extended warranty. So there you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Is that what you had to answer? That was the...
No, that was not the answer.
That was the super important thing. All right.
Yeah, all right. Stay classy, Planet Globe.
Peace out. We'll see you Monday. Bye.